Every year in the NFL, it's a new team. As far as goals go, we have one. Putting a f***ing ring on our finger.
Welcome to the Buccaneers Observer Podcast. This is Ralph Phillips.
I'm Molly Bay.
Today is September 1st, 2020. 12 days until kickoff.
We have Tom Brady days until kickoff.
What?
Tom Brady days. He's
Tom Brady
12.
days. Good one. Wow.
I stole that from the Buccaneers
Oh,
Twitter account.
Not good one then. That sucks. That's horrible. Why would you do that?
I mean, I gave him credit, so it's not stealing.
Well, you know,
right.
We don't try to regurgitate material on this podcast. So.
That's all we do.
Whatever. You know, I'm gonna find another co-host. All right,
Maybe
we got a
the
good show
dog's
for you
available.
Today. We've got Bucs scrimmage. We got some roster moves going on. Alvin Kamara drama in the NFC South. I can see that blowing up. Boom for the Saints. We got some notes from the end of camp. Camp's over.
Almost. Not quite, but almost.
Former Buccaneers reunites with Demar Dotson. A stud running back is up for grabs. How about that? We could always use more running backs. What do we got? 17 now?
That's a good question.
Yeah. And got the question, will the Bucs move on, move in, get a new running back, get the big stud running back? First, though, we got to do some fact checks, some follow-ups. We had Team Mora contacted us and let us know that
right.
that Shaq Barrett's numbers did, or that Shaq's production did go down when JPP went down because he was seeing lots of double teams. Well, I don't know. I don't know if I should even put that in the fact check or follow up because I don't believe it. I'm going to have to look in the at the game film and see. His production might have gone down as far as stat wise. I'll have to look into that too, but I don't think he never stopped. If that makes sense.
I think his numbers went a little, kind of did a dip and then came back up.
Right when JPP came back?
I think in the middle of the season.
Yeah.
But I don't know how that lined up with JPP coming back.
Yeah, but I think my point was that, Joe Bucs fan had said that without another end over there, that Shaq Barrett was getting more attention on him and he wasn't able to be as productive. And I guess if you're looking at the stats, then maybe he wasn't as productive, I guess. But looking at the game film, the guy was still beating people and getting to the quarterback. He was just not getting the sacks, I guess. I don't know. We'll look into it. Thank you for that correction or note or criticism there, Team Mora. Appreciate it. All right, what do you got going on?
Well, we had the Bucs scrimmage on Friday, and I've got a few notes from that. These are kind of from Steve Smith and... Was it Steve Smith? Scott Smith. And Casey Phillips did their training camp live thing, and they went over the scrimmage from Friday. They couldn't say too much because, even with the Bucs reporters, they were not letting them tweet through the whole thing.
They wouldn't let them tweet even?
No, they couldn't do anything through the whole scrimmage. They just kind of had to sit there and watch it.
Well, you're not really missing anything because all they do when they tweet is like they retweet the same stuff or they tweet the same stuff, each one of them.
Yeah.
It's like we follow all of them and I'll get 16 alerts that Mike Evans caught a touchdown pass in the end zone.
Right. And for me, I just go to Greg Allman's page and you get everybody. I mean, you could go to any of them.
Yeah.
Rick Stroud, Jenna, whoever you want to do.
It's strange to say. It's almost, I don't understand. It's almost like they gather together and they go, okay, let's tweet about this one or let's tweet about this because they never deviate from their script. There's not one person tweeting something and another person tweeting something else that's happening.
Yeah.
Very strange.
Yeah.
It's always been like that, though.
But Scott Smith and Casey had some good tidbits. It was the first team offense versus the second team defense and vice versa. So the first team defense did not go up against the first team offense.
What? Why? Yeah.
I don't know. That's just how they did it.
Read Bruce Arians' mind over there, man.
Scott Smith did say that the first team defense pretty much shut it down.
Well, yeah, going up against the second team defense.
I know.
No, wait a minute. First team defense against the second team offense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they did pretty well.
And I would expect that the first team offense beat up the second team defense.
I think so. Yeah. Our starters have a good day.
Well,
yeah.
All is right in the world. That's how it's supposed to be.
They did pipe some crowd noise in, and
I heard it was really loud.
Yeah, the league is allowing up to 85 decibels, which I guess Scott was saying that the Saints Stadium can get up to like 120 decibels. So it's not quite the Saints Stadium at their peak, but it is pretty loud. And the difference is, with a crowd, it kind of ebbs and flows. And this was just 80 decibels the whole time.
Yeah, that'd give you a headache. It'd be like a leaf blower blowing in your ear for 4 hours.
And that's how it's going to be during the games.
Yeah, it's going to be weird.
So they can't just have the noise playing like when the opponent's offense is on the field. So they have to have the noise in like the whole time. So that's kind of good. It might make you think twice about piping in too much noise because it's going to affect your offense just as much as it will the opponent's offense.
Yeah, it's like an LRAD. The sound just makes you sick. You're like, get all queasy. Ugh.
Yeah, and it's going to be like the whole time. Now, if the team has fans in the stand, they can't pipe in the crowd noise. So it's one or the other.
Yeah, we still don't know what's going on with the Buccaneers' first game. It's September, I think it's 20th or something like that. Yeah, at home. We don't know if they're having fans or not yet.
But definitely week 1 at the Saints, they've said no fans. Right. So that was interesting on that front as far as the noise goes. I don't know how I feel about that. Tom Brady said it would definitely be a challenge.
Yeah, it's going to be different for all of them. I mean, none of them have ever played like this.
Right. And Tom pointed out that, even with the noise, typically you could hear when someone's like yelling your name on the sideline, and you can look over and kind of read their lips and figure out what they're saying. But everyone on the sideline is going to have a mask on. So you can't do that. So that's an additional aspect of it. That's really going to be difficult.
I wonder if this season, because it's going to be so different in so many different ways, is going to be more beneficial for the new guys than the old guys, because the old guys are used, like Tom Brady, he's been doing this for 20 years. Like you said, he's got these little things like being able to look at the sideline and kind of see the mouth moving and figure out what's going on. He ain't going to be able to do that this year. Might throw him off quite a bit. So, this year might really screw up the veterans more so than the new guys.
Yeah, it could.
Interesting. You never know, man. That's the great thing about football. You never know what's going to happen.
Any given Sunday. The wide receiver 3 position is going pretty well. Apparently, both Scotty Miller and Justin Watson are having really good camps.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of good stuff about Scotty Miller. His name is Scooter. That's what Tom Brady's calling him now. Scooter. He said that Scotty Miller said that he'd been called Scooter before, kind of here and there. Nickname never really stuck, but Tom Brady's making it stick. Apparently he's calling him Scooter every time he sees him. Scooter McShooter.
And apparently, I think, did Scotty bulk up?
They all bulked up.
Yeah, except for Justin Watson. I think Justin Watson slimmed down, and he's like more cut than he was. But anyway, they're having a pretty good camp. Quentin Bell, who I think is an outside linebacker, he had a good day on special teams, BA said, and on defense. And then we did have a couple of injuries. Rojo, his foot was wrapped up after the scrimmage, but then they had the day off on Saturday, and then he was back at practice Sunday. And then Carlton Davis injured his shoulder It was not practicing on Sunday, but BA said he's going to be just fine. And of course, at this point, they don't have to give any injury updates, so we don't really know.
Buccaneers signed veteran.
And just a quick note, Monday, Carlton was practicing, so it looks
he's
like
back out
fine.
on the field. Okay,
Yeah.
good. Yeah, we signed a veteran, AQ Shipley, center from the Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah, so this is a BA guy.
Oh, he was there with BA?
He was drafted by the Steelers in 2009 when BA was there.
Oh, wow.
He was drafted in the 7th round and then played on the practice squad. Then he came to Arizona. I mean, not Arizona. Arizona later, but he came to the Colts with BA and then to Arizona, and now he's with the Bucs.
Wow.
So he's followed BA.
He played with Ryan Jensen at the Baltimore Ravens in 2013.
Okay, yeah, and he played for the Eagles also. So he's kind of bounced around. Joe Gilbert had a press conference today, offensive line coach, and he said he's familiar with AQ Shipley too, of course, being the, I think, offensive line coach at Indianapolis. So he's familiar with him as well, and he gives some good depth. I guess he's a center.
Yes.
So
he's played a little bit of guard in his career too, but
yeah,
he's a center. He'll be backing up Ryan Jensen.
Yeah, and that's nice to have some veteran depth back there because
yeah.
the rest of the guys I think are really young. And the kicking competition is getting interesting.
Mm-hmm. Well, we brought in two guys, Ryan Succop and
Cody Parkey
from Chicago.
Yeah, Cody was the guy that lost them the playoff game against the Eagles in 2018.
And they summarily ran him out of town.
Yeah, but then the league came back and said that the kick was blocked. So it wasn't necessarily his fault.
Oh, so
completely.
he might have a chip on his shoulder. Got something to prove.
Yeah, well, he didn't get a job anyway because we signed Ryan Succop today, released Elliot Fry, and this just further cements my opinion that this is Gay has the job, but they're just bringing in competition to motivate him. Because all we've heard for the last couple weeks of training camp is that Elliot Fry is really making it a competition against Matt Gay and has even outperformed him in some respects. And then, as soon as they get the chance to sign somebody else, it's Elliot Fry that got the axe, not Matt Gay. So this is why I think Matt Gay has the better shot. I think this whole thing is more about Matt Gay trying to get him to perform, kind of feel the heat a little bit.
Look at you all being an analyst and stuff.
Well, this is what I said last time. And you were like, I don't know. So I just wanted to prove you wrong.
So your confirmation bias is kicking in double now.
So Ryan Succop, he's been with Tennessee since 2014. He ended 2019 on IR. He went through knee surgery in the offseason leading up to 2019. He started off the season on injured reserve, came off of it in November, and went 1 for 6 on kicks. He did go 24 of 25 for extra points, but he was not doing so hot with the field goals. And then they put him back on IR. So we signed him to a 1-year veteran minimum deal worth $1.05 million. And he was at practice today, Monday, wearing number 3. How dare they give away Jameis Winston's jersey number? It's disrespectful.
To a kicker.
To a kicker. So we'll see how that goes. But I think Matt Gay's got it. As long as he doesn't completely crap the bed the rest of the season. Oh, we also re-signed Spencer Schnell, the wide receiver, after we had released him July 31st. So he's back in the wide receiver competition, which I liked him last season. And wasn't he returning kicks for a while?
I don't remember. Spencer Schnell.
Yeah, Schnelly. I think
small guy, right? Fast.
Yeah, and I think that he was on the practice squad for a while too.
The Bucs have quietly been doing some business with Levante David, apparently. This was tweeted out a couple days ago. Levante.
Getting him extended?
Yes, doing a extension on his contract. This is the last year of his contract. And he's due to make $10.75 million this year. So they're trying to get him extended. Man, it's going to be sad if he leaves. You know?
Next season is just going to be such a nightmare cap-wise.
Oh, my gosh, yeah. Yes, because of the money revenue from the NFL TV rights, everything is going to be so low. They're saying that they're estimating that the cap is going to be like $140 million as compared to this year at, what, $200 million?
Yeah.
It's like $100 million.
Yeah.
Yeah, so a lot of teams are going to be struggling. I don't know how they're going to work that out. The funny thing I found about this was reported by Ian Rappaport. Ian Rappaport is not a local Bucs media guy. And this happens a lot where these national guys, Ian Rappaport and whoever, they break Bucs news. How does that happen? How do they get the information before the local Bucs guys? Strange. Don't get it.
I don't get it either. I do have a little gripe about the media.
All right, do it.
They don't know how to use Zoom because the press conferences today, it was better, but the ones over the weekend was awful. And I think that they must have put them back in the media room because they all look like they, like in elementary school, like it's got the cinder block walls painted. Like that's kind of what it looked like. I don't know if that's what the media room looks like, but they were all in a similar looking room. But in Rick Stroud in particular, but there were a couple other ones, there was so much feedback. You could like barely hear the question and it was just awful. Like, y'all, get some headphones.
Well, I think that the most journalists, and this is a general statement across all journalism, not just sports football, don't know how to do anything. I mean, they have spent their whole life basically sitting at a desk writing. Some of them do investigative journalism, so they actually get away from behind the desk a little bit. But from the journalists I've known and heard of and read about, they don't know how to do anything.
I think they know how to write about people who do stuff.
Right. Yes, that's their job.
That's their job.
Spectate.
So it was just a little annoying. It's just hard to listen to. It just ruins the whole press conference. And the players and the coaches that they're having the press conference with, like you can't focus on the question when you got a ringing in your ears. It's very frustrating. It was annoying.
Jamal Dean got a pick.
Okay.
Yeah. Greg Allman had actually said, he tweeted out, he said, I haven't seen a pick in days. But Jamal Dean picks off a sideline Gabbert throw.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Gabbert.
So it was a Gabbert throw. But a good
I
point.
shouldn't have said it like that.
The good thing there is that he hadn't seen a pick in days.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's good. You remember last year during training camp, that was the rage was, where they're like, our secondary's killing it because we're getting all these interceptions all the way through training camp. Mm-hmm. They come to find out, it was more of a Jameis Winston likes to throw interceptions than it was the secondary killing it. So it's good to see that, with this monstrous secondary we have, that Tom Brady and apparently Blaine Gabbert are not throwing too many interceptions.
That is good.
I like
Although
that.
they've been saying Parnell Motley is just a ball hawk. They like him.
Motley?
Yes, Motley.
The Motley Crew. That's what they got to name the secondary.
Maybe, but you have so many guys there that could potentially be standouts, like Jamel Dean or SMB.
Jamel Dean's my boy. I'm sorry. I just really like the way he plays.
I like him. Okay, so today, the list of guys not practicing, September 1st, we've got cornerback Ryan Smith, cornerback Parnell Motley, safety Andrew Adams, safety Javon Hagan, Jason Pierre-Paul, and wide receiver John Hurst.
What about Tyler Johnson? Did he get put on IR or
Let me look.
is he practicing? I mean, he hasn't practiced hardly any during camp this year.
Okay, he is not on IR, but I don't know. He's not on the list of not practicing. I know BA said that he's like super behind.
Okay, so if he's not on IR, then he's probably practicing. I haven't heard anything about him getting cut yet.
Yeah, not yet.
I don't know how he makes it.
So final cuts are Saturday.
This is final
4.
cuts. This is not.
Yes.
We're not doing this
There's
year.
no
where we
like
cut down.
2-tier, right. So the difference this season is that typically we have a 90-man roster up until a certain point, and then you do cuts.
Mm-hmm.
And I forget how many they have to do at that point. But this year, it's only been an 80-man roster through training camp. And so they have to go from 80 down to 53 on Saturday.
You know what I just thought of? And I hate to say this because it's going to make us look like really bad football fans, but we have not watched any Hard Knocks yet this year.
Again, still.
Wow.
I'm just not interested in these teams in particular.
Yeah, true
I'm just
enough.
like, they're kind of boring.
But still, Hard Knocks is when Hard Knocks comes on. That's what me and Molly always say. That's when the season starts for us. It seems like every year.
But along with Hard Knocks, you get preseason games and training camp stuff. So it's like, what are they even going to do? Because at least on Hard Knocks, typically you get them covering the games too. So what are they even doing on Hard Knocks? That's what I want to know.
I know. We'll probably watch the first episode and be like, that's horrible. We're just not going to watch it anymore.
Yeah.
And I think they do that too much anyhow. Well, I would say this about sports in general and the NFL in general, but they focus too much on the character.
It's a reality show format. Like you always have the dramatic, sad stories, or you know what I mean?
And
like you get the guy who his grandma has cancer and his dog got run over.
Right,
You know what I mean?
And
it's like a big thing, and you really get to liking him, and then they cut him. Like every time.
And then they'll show a little bit of football action at like a practice or something, but then they'll zoom it up so close that all you see is a bunch of guys moving around.
Yeah.
Which I'm going to say that about the Bucs this year in the current, they're doing that, and it's driving me crazy.
It's getting too close.
Yeah, you can't really tell what's going on. I want to see the football. I want to see everybody on the field that I possibly can and see the play, how it's designed, and all that good stuff.
I don't think they want you to see that.
But that's another thing I have a gripe about with the reporters. Like I said, they all report the same stuff. They'll be like, ooh, great catch by Mike Evans in the end zone, or Jamal Dean just knocked the ball down in a pass, or whatever. But they don't talk about the play. What kind of play it was, who was in coverage, what the design of the play was, what the defense was doing. You know what I'm saying? It seems like...
Yeah, but I wonder how much the organization limits that.
Well, they could
because it's like with the scrimmage, not only were they not allowed to tweet during the scrimmage, but they were really limited in the information that they could give out. Like they couldn't say how many yards people threw for, although I think they kind of estimated.
I want their job. I never thought about it before, but man, how nice would it be able to be to really sit around and do not a whole lot of anything, and you get press conferences where you just basically regurgitate what was said at the press conference. And then when you do have to go and observe something and report on it, you're very limited on what you can report on. So you just report what everybody else is reporting. Be like, oh, Mike Evans caught the ball. Tweet, How do these people... I don't get it. I don't get it, man.
And Ren Dax in the Pewtercast brought this up, that this season in particular, it's like we really need the media to be our eyes and ears because nobody can be there.
Right.
And they're just
not
totally not doing anything.
Yeah. I mean, we're diehard Bucs fans. Mm-hmm. And pretty much everybody listening to this podcast is a diehard Bucs fan. And we're not getting any information. Mm-mm. It's like, what good are they? I don't know. Don't know. Somebody's going to have to figure it out. And you figure we got quite a few of them. We got one with the Tampa Bay Times. Got a couple of them from there. Got the Athletic out there. We've got ESPN out there. We've got Pewter Report out there. We got Joe Buck's fan site out there. That's 6 I could just name right there, and there's more than that. That's 6 organizations. And I'm not getting anything from any of them. These fluff pieces sometimes. Or they're all saying the same stuff. Yeah, except for Joe Bucs fan. Like I said, love those guys. The hardest working guys in the business, if you ask me. They always write unusual stuff. If you can deal with it. All right. We got some teams that are allowing fans in the stadium, but most teams are not. I've got a list here. You want to go through it?
Yeah.
A couple of them surprised me. This is what we know so far. This might not be completely up to date, but no fans all season. There's 3 teams doing that. Yeah. Chicago. Oh, I just flipped everybody off. Chicago, which that really surprises me. I mean, they got an open air stadium. You know, Las Vegas. That really doesn't surprise me too much because it's a new stadium and, you know, why not? And then the Washington Foreskins. No fans.
Nobody was
going
to come anyway.
This is true, but I think they're probably doing that because they don't want to put up with having people coming in wearing the old logo stuff and have to kick them out. Okay, now there's 5 teams that have no fans until further notice. It's the Giants, the Jets, the Chargers, the Rams, and Philadelphia. So that's pretty much the NFC East, except for Dallas, are probably going to have no fans this year. Okay, no fans for first home game. Denver, San Francisco. Both open-air stadiums.
New Orleans.
No, that's no fans through at least September.
Okay.
Atlanta, this is teams that are having no fans all the way through September. Atlanta, Buffalo, they're saying at least through October 4th. Detroit, again, October 4th. Green Bay, Houston, Minnesota, New England, New Orleans, and Seattle, and Tennessee. Then we have 3 with reduced but unspecified capacity. That's going to be Cincinnati, Dallas, and Pittsburgh. We have teams that are going to allow 10 to 20% capacity, and that's the Baltimore Ravens. Then we have 4 teams that are going to allow 20 to 25% capacity. That's the Indianapolis Colts at 25%, Jacksonville Jaguars at 25%, Kansas City at 22%. What an
Where do you get that number? I know.
And the Miami Dolphins at 20%, which is, I think, about what they usually get anyhow. So no changes with the Dolphins. No plans announced. There's 4 teams. Guess who's one of them? Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
The Bucs.
Getting kind of close to the gun there, guys. You need to let us know what's going on. The 4 teams are 4 real top-tier teams. Cleveland, Carolina, Tampa Bay, and Arizona.
No plans announced yet.
No plans announced yet.
Getting kind of close to the...
Cutting the wire, yeah.
Yeah.
Down to the wire, cutting it close. I just combined the 2 and said cutting the wire.
Yeah, I forgot my idiom, so I'm glad for you to jump in there.
All right. It's just, again, it's so arbitrary. It's so many different ones. I mean, what is 22% capacity? Why pick that number? 25 you can understand because why not? 22? Is there some significance in Kansas City with the number 22? I don't know.
Maybe they've calculated how much revenue they want to bring in.
Maybe.
Numbers.
Math.
So Mark Barron signed with the Broncos.
Yes, surprised the heck out of me.
He's going to join Demar Dotson.
Broncos sounds like they're stacking up on the veteran tough guys.
Yeah.
Yes, Mark Barron, if you don't remember, he used to play for us, drafted by Greg Schiano and his crew in 2012. He was number 7th overall, I believe, first round. Kind of did not make the splash we wanted him to and needed him to. He's kind of a hybrid player. He ended up going to, was it the Rams where they started using him as linebacker? Mm-hmm. Because we drafted him as a safety. Schiano liked those down in the box safeties. He's had a pretty decent career, and he's stayed a starter ever since he's been drafted.
Yeah, kind of a journeyman. right? Because
Yeah.
he's been, with Pittsburgh, the Rams, us,
Now he's at Denver.
Denver. I'm sure there's another team in there somewhere. The Ravens, was he with the Ravens?
I don't remember.
Can't remember. It's been all over the place. All right,
But it's a 1-year contract for $1.25 million, I think. So,
he got a job.
got a job.
Got a job. All right, let's talk about Alvin Kamara.
Yes. Yes.
You know what I think this is? He doesn't want to play the Bucs week 1. That's my theory.
Yes, because that
We
will.
shut him.
We
Did we
shut
shut
him
him
down.
down? Did
I don't know
shut
if
him
we
down?
did or not, but let's just say we did.
Okay. I'm going to go with that. I think we did. I think the only one we really had a hard time. Well, I don't know. They kind of killed us.
Who?
The
Saints?
New Orleans, yeah.
Yeah.
Can't remember.
I
But
thought
he's
we kept
scared.
it below
I'm
his
just going to go with
average.
that.
We kept it below his average. I think we only had one 100-yard rusher on the list last year, and that was
We had Chris
Tennessee.
Carson with Seattle.
really
Yeah. And,
Derrick Henry from Tennessee.
yeah.
Chris
I think-
Carson got 100 yards.
Yeah,
on
I
us?
think Chris Carson was the first one.
You sure?
No,
All right.
but
that'll be a good fact check follow up. Yeah, so apparently Kamara, it is a really, really confusing
it is
story.
a really weird thing because I was doing my notes on Sunday and there was a tweet from Adam Schefter that said Kamara has been out since Friday. So for 3 days he had missed practice and the team is saying it's an unexcused absence. So I go look today to see, is there a 4th day? Did he show up on Monday? And there's a tweet from Ian Rappaport, and he's saying he spoke to Alvin Kamara, and Kamara said that it's an injury. It's not that he's unexcused. He said that he's been in the building.
Right, but the team was saying he was unexcused.
Yeah.
Absence.
Yeah.
So we're
I
not
don't-
even sure if it was just a communication problem between Alvin Kamara and
But
the
how are
team?
you in the building and then they don't know that you're there? Like, what does he do? Did he not talk to any of the coaches? I don't understand. So he's in the last year of his rookie deal and they are in the midst of contract negotiations. And the team is making it sound like he's holding out. And his agent is saying, no, he's not holding out. He's never threatened to hold out. And he's been in the building.
That's
And
very
now
strange.
it came out today that the Saints are trying to shop him, that they would be willing to trade him. It's just outrageous. I don't know who. I
know. It's crazy.
Their communication is a mess, or
Yeah,
there's some kind of leaks getting out, and one side is trying to get out ahead of it. I don't know.
Yeah, well, it couldn't happen to a better team, I'll tell you that.
Which I know, like the drama with Drew Brees and Malcolm Jenkins, and then you get this, and then you have Jameis Winston, there,
Oh
a
my
starting
goodness.
caliber quarterback potentially behind a quarterback that's pissed people off in the organization. I don't know.
Goodness.
So
But yeah, when the Alvin Kamara stuff broke, I think it was Sunday. Everybody was reporting that he was holding out.
mhm.
Everybody was reporting that, and then for it to come out that he was actually there in the building, he was just claimed that he was injured.
Supposedly that's what he's saying. I don't
Right.
know.
Yeah, but you never know who's telling the truth in these situations. We'll find out. We don't even know if he is being shopped. Who knows?
I ain't mad.
Yeah, that'd be funny if he got sent to Denver
Somewhere. Yeah.
somewhere.
This year, it's the final year of his rookie deal, so he's making $2.133 million.
That's chump change
I know.
for as much as he's contributed.
Yeah.
What did McCaffrey get? Didn't he get like $12 million or 10?
Fat contract.
Yeah, he got a big fat contract. But Kamara does about as much as he does. Well, I wouldn't say about as
Well,
much. but-
Kamara is that pass catching back.
Yes. And Kamara's very good at what he does. $2 million. And you probably got backups on the Saints that are making that much. But the Saints got a lot of money.
I mean, gosh, they put a ton of money into their backup quarterback, their third string quarterback, right? Didn't they give him a contract for like $20 million?
Yeah, like 21. Right, they extended him? That was Taysom Hill. That's what everyone's kind of saying. Like, you can find money for Taysom Hill, but you can't find money for Alvin Kamara.
Well, they got Jameis Winston for, what, $1 million?
Yeah. Chump change.
Chump change.
So I'm looking at Christian McCaffrey, and he's making $7 million. Almost $8 million.
$8 million this year?
Yeah.
Yeah, and Kamara's making $2 million.
Right.
I mean, that's got to be tough.
Yeah.
You got to be like, come on now. Dump a little bit more. But the Saints don't have any money. I mean, they're hard up against the cap. Just like we are.
Yeah. So I have the cap information pulled up here, actually. The Bucs have $1.4 million in cap space. That is 30th in the league.
30th best or 30th worst?
Worst. Okay, this is weird. Oh, maybe it's because I only have the window partially open. I'm only seeing 31 teams here. I don't know where the 32nd team. Anyway, so we're 30th. New Orleans is 27th. They have 3.7 million.
Oh, I didn't know they had that
space.
much. Good Lord.
So they could pay Kamara.
No,
Give
they
him a
shouldn't.
bonus.
No,
No.
They should really get rid of him.
Yeah. Let this drag on for a while.
Well, Kamara got hurt, and who is it? Was it
They had Mark Ingram for years, right?
right? And then they got rid of him last year. Gosh, who was their backup? Was it Latavius Murray?
Oh,
But
yeah.
anyhow, they got a backup, and Kamara was out for a game or so, and backup came in and did pretty good.
Yeah.
So it might be a system thing. I don't know.
Well, I just hope it continues to collapse.
No matter where you go, Alvin Kamara, we wish you the best of luck. As long as it's not the Saints.
Well, maybe the Saints could pick up drama queen Leonard Fournette.
What do you think we're going to do? You think we're going to keep as far away from that as possible, or?
I don't know. I mean, you know how I feel about these players who are difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Not a fan.
Yeah.
Not a fan.
And he's had some off-the-field issues, and he's had some rebellion against front office issues.
And injury issues, right?
And injury, yes.
I mean, it's just a trifecta. Like, stay away from that.
Mm-hmm.
So the Jags waived him. He cleared waivers.
Nobody wants him.
Nobody
Holy
wants
crap.
him. He is a free agent.
Ooh.
And he's officially filed a grievance against Jacksonville to recoup the $4 million in base salary that the team voided.
Yeah, most likely he'll probably get that. It was guaranteed money, but they're saying because of some off-the-field issues from a couple years ago, it voided that guarantee.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Ooh.
So we'll see how that works.
Yeah. BA has said...
But Jacksonville, what's going on? Oh, go ahead with BA.
BA said, we'll have to just wait and see where he fits. That is a quote.
Mm.
So, I don't know. Again, we have $1.4 million in cap space. I'm just not really sure how you find the money there.
Yeah, I don't think it's worth it.
I don't either. And, our running back, if we just have an average, I'm not trying to have like a stud running back
Just
back
to run
there. Just get us an average.
One to keep the defense honest. That's all we need.
Yeah. Or
Yeah,
a couple.
and-
I don't really care.
Like I said, we don't even have to run the ball this year. We can just throw it every down.
Yeah.
I think we're going to be unstoppable in the passing game. Well, what about Jacksonville? I mean, the Jaguars have just blowed up. They got rid of Ngannou.
They've been a mess for years.
But they were right on the precipice just 2 years ago. Remember, their defense was killing it. And now they're back down to being a joke in the league.
I don't even know who their coach is. Is it still Doug Marrone?
Good question. I would assume.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's like Cleveland. Like,
Yeah,
they're
who
just
pays
constantly turning over. And it's hard, as we've seen with the Buccaneers, when you have no consistency to get anything going. And even if you do have a good roster one year, it's like, who knows if that's going to carry over.
Weren't you telling me Derwin James got hurt?
He did. He hurt his knee. I think it was a meniscus injury, and he'll need surgery and will be out 6 to 8 months. So he's
done for the season.
Yeah. And somebody actually tweeted at us and said, well, there's that argument is over.
That argument is over.
Vita Vea versus Derwin James.
Well,
Although Vita hasn't been at, he's been at training camp, but remember he had the thumb.
I'm not sure Vita Vea likes to practice because every year he's been here, he's like missed all training camp.
Okay, how many years? Is this his third? This is his third year.
Yeah.
And he's missed
every single training
camp. I don't know. If it doesn't affect him, I don't really care.
Yeah, I don't care either.
I'm just indifferent.
Yep, I'm a big Vita Vea fan, so anything that helps that argument that Vita Vea was better than Derwin James, I'm all for it.
Worth it.
I don't like to see players get injured, but
no.
It's been weird this year, all the injuries that have happened with such a short preseason. And we had Gerald McCoy out for the season. Mike Williams with the Chargers got knocked out today. Or Tyrell Williams. He's out for the season. A lot of out for the season injuries. And then plus you got all the opt-outs, which nobody of note opted out, did they? Not like a serious starter that I can recall.
I don't know. Weren't there some with the Patriots that did?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they had some big names.
Patriots.
I just wanted to point out in the YouTube comments, it was pretty unanimous that you should be buying me dinner for our bet that you lost and I lost. We both lost. So thanks, guys. There was a suggestion that you should cook me a homemade gourmet full course meal, which I like that idea. Ralph has only cooked for me once since we've been together. It's been 12 years. And that was boneless wings and French fries that he put in the oven.
Hey, I grill stuff. I want to hear it.
Okay. All right. Kind of. Like, is it really grilling if I just hand you the meat and you stand there?
Yeah,
that's
the whole part of cooking.
Grilling is?
The cooking part is standing there cooking the meat, flipping it.
I don't know if you get credit for that.
I'm giving myself credit
All
for
right.
it. Hey, you're getting Taco Bell. That's what we had decided on.
Which we did get Taco Bell after then, so maybe we're square, but I wouldn't oppose it again.
Well, these guys talking about me cooking you dinner, a gourmet meal.
Team Molly. Everybody's on Team Molly.
What about all these false positives? The COVID thing we've had in the past, I think, week or so, we've had 10 people test positive in the NFL. None of them were players. No, I think one was a player. The rest of them have been staff and administrative people. But, there was a big kind of scandal that happened. 44 players tested positive, and then we come to find out it was false positive. 9 of them were from Chicago. I think that's what kicked it off, wasn't it? Now, they were all using a lab in New Jersey. All these false positives came from this lab in New Jersey. It was 44 different players tested positive. And that really threw the teams into a kind of a tailspin. They're like, oh, my gosh. They were talking about locking back down and all this stuff. And then come to find out, apparently this lab wasn't doing the tests, having their standards up to par. So we had 44 false positive tests.
I'm really surprised at how the whole COVID thing has almost been a non-issue. Like, besides the false positives, there haven't been the outbreaks that
nobody's gotten sick.
I know, it's
all.
crazy.
Not a single NFL player has gotten COVID and gotten sick since the beginning of COVID. Not a one. Remember Cameron Brake got it and he said he didn't even know he had it?
Yeah.
He wouldn't have known he had it if his wife wouldn't have got tested.
Right. Yeah. Well, it's been pretty well established that it's there are those who are at risk, and it's not the cohort that plays in the NFL.
Yeah. The CDC came out and did the whole thing where they broke it down into comorbidities and people who just died of COVID. Mm-hmm. Only 9,000 people have died of COVID. The rest of them...
strictly COVID.
Yeah, strictly COVID.
Well, it's like my relative that passed was in heart failure at the same time.
And 96
years old. So it was like, the cardiologist said, it could be weeks, it could be months with the heart failure, and then it was a few days. So... yeah. I mean,
I think the threat to the athletes, they are the least likely to be affected COVID people on the planet. I understand why they have to go through all this mess, but it's kind of the society we live in now, where safety is more important than anything. Better safe than sorry type of thing. That seems to, it's been something that just happened in the past 20 years since 9/11. It's safety is the number one priority for everybody about everything. So I understand why the players in the NFL are doing all this. It's a shame, though. It really is, especially for us. And I'm going to be selfish here. As Tampa Bay fans, here it is. This is the most exciting offseason we've ever had as far as, getting Tom Brady, Rob Gronkowski. We've already got... the number 3 offense in the league, and now we're adding those 2 guys. Come on. And we've got a monster defense. I think we were destined to go far this year, and now all this stuff hits. And we're actually being robbed. We're being robbed. We can't go to the New Orleans game, and see Tom Brady in the first game as a Buccaneer. The Super Bowl is going to be in Florida this year, and they might, who knows, they might move it. They might not allow fans there. We might, and we're going to be there. We're going to be playing in the Super Bowl. So I'm just saying, Buck fans, we're getting screwed by this COVID stuff. We can't even go to practices. What? Can't go see the Tom Brady, or what I think I would want to see more than seeing Tom Brady is seeing Jenna Lane see Tom Brady. She asked a question the other day that wasn't Tom Brady related. She was talking to LaShawn McCoy when she did it, though. So.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't want to get into that.
Okay.
Okay. You got anything else? I know you do. I'm done. I got him. I done cleared my notes.
There are a couple of YouTube comments, and
I'm not buying you dinner, or I'm not making you dinner.
Sorry. We have a couple of YouTube comments, and they're kind of their Bucs stories. So we've got Adam, who says, love the podcast, guys. Been an avid listener via Spotify for a while now. Not a big podcast listener usually, but never miss one of yours.
Oh, sweet.
Thanks, Adam.
That's nice.
He's from the UK, but adopted the Bucs as my NFL team as a kid back in '99 when I came home from a family holiday with an all-star jersey. Didn't have a clue who he was at the time, but I'll never forget this older gentleman who told me all about him at the airport when I was waiting to fly home. So excited for the new season. It's going to be a bit weird at the start, what with the crowd situation, but hopefully it doesn't impact the intensity of the game too much. Ooh, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Watching Liverpool in the Premier League after that restarted after the COVID break certainly did make a difference, but hopefully the crowd noise in the NFL will help the atmosphere, albeit nowhere near the same as a packed stadium. Anyway, stay safe and go Bucs. I didn't think about that as far as the intensity of the game. It would definitely change the mood. And I wonder what it's going to be like on the broadcast.
Very, very strange. I've actually watched I want to say a college game or just a clip from a college game or something this weekend. And it was just weird. It was like quiet, and you could hear the guys running around and hitting each other and the coaches. Yeah, it was
so weird.
Very strange. Yeah. It's going to be very weird.
Well, when you're at a game, when you're at a game, you can kind of hear the stuff on the field more.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like.
Yeah. But Adam, you're a lucky guy, man. Getting in 1999, man. That was the wave.
That was about when you started, right?
97.
Okay,
Yes.
so around the same time period.
97 or 96? Can't remember.
And then we have Peter, also from the UK, which is crazy. We got two guys from the UK.
A lot of Bucs fans in the UK.
I know, I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Peter also agreed that you should take me to dinner.
Peter? I would
He's
prefer
on
that.
Team Molly.
I'll do the take her to dinner before I'll make dinner. So.
He says, "Hi guys, I wanted to say thanks for all your great content over the past few months. I've watched your film breakdowns and listened to your podcasts as well, all of which I've thoroughly enjoyed. I'm from the UK, but hugely enjoy watching the NFL, and have found your content to be much more interesting and sophisticated than most other podcasts and media outlets."
Ooh, man.
Thank you, sir. See,
Sophisticated.
we're more likely to read your comments on here if you spend a little time stroking our egos. So thanks, Peter. He says, "I'll be honest, the game that got me hooked to the NFL was Super Bowl 51 and Brady's ridiculous performance that night. I've never particularly liked the Patriots, though, so I'm personally looking forward to seeing him play for the Bucs."
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people feel that way. Well, a lot of people hate the Patriots and Tom Brady.
Mm-hmm.
So it's unusual that you hate one but not the other. "I know you've been looking under the hood of your new quarterback, and I thought I should point you in the direction of a couple of this I think you'd be interested in if you have the time." So I love this one. Peyton Manning has a series called Detail on ESPN Plus,
Oh, have to check that out.
which I love Peyton.
Yeah.
I mean, he's
entertaining.
he's entertaining, but another GOAT.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's not the GOAT, but he's up there.
Yeah.
And he's similar. He's such a different quarterback. I mean, he's like we read BA's book, The Quarterback Whisperer, and he talks about Peyton, how he's basically like retarded in every other aspect of life. But football, he's like a savant. So,
Yeah. Well, he is probably the most unskilled, extremely talented quarterback that's ever been.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, it's very strange. He just used everything that he had to his ability. You know, his play, the way he would get up there and just spout nonsense to confuse the defense and everything. It was masterful. He was a field general.
Yeah. He says he's done some film review on various current quarterbacks, which I would love to get his perspective, because I think he does just have such a eye for the game, and I think he's just a student of the game.
That's on ESPN Plus. Okay.
Yeah. About a year ago, after the 2018-2019 AFC Championship game, he did a half-hour episode analyzing Brady's performance.
Really?
Yeah. So we should watch that. I know. Manning focuses on showing you how Brady reads the defense and how Brady's mechanics and footwork allow him to execute plays. It's an amazing watch, but it's not available in the UK at the moment because it's only on ESPN Plus. If you can access it, I'm sure you'll find it interesting. And then he says that we should watch Brady's final year at Michigan. There were some really good games. So that's
awesome.
Some good watching.
Yeah.
And I would love to see Peyton's perspective on that. And of course, they're friends. Like they did that.
Frenemies.
Yeah, frenemies. I mean, how many times did they face off in the AFC?
Yeah, like every year.
Yeah, exactly. Until Peyton retired. So, okay, so that's all I got, really. We had a couple other comments. One said it was a good point about the scrimmage and not letting the guys get too aggressive with each other.
You're pointing that out because that's something you brought up.
Yeah, because I was right. Well, I wasn't totally right because it didn't happen at practice. Thank goodness. So, yeah, okay. So that's all we got. Thanks for sending your comments in, guys. And especially we got 2 on one episode from the UK, so that's cool.
Yeah. Go UK.
Go UK.
All right.
I don't know if y'all know this, but I'm like 74% English.
I'm 100%.
In case you couldn't tell.
I'm 100% mutt.
I know, that's what your family says.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Is there anything else?
That's all I got.
Okay. Looks like that's going to wrap it up for us.
The next time you hear from us will be after all of our roster cuts. We'll have the final. We'll get to see what our team looks like. We'll know in a few days.
Maybe we've got some things. They might hear from us before then. But yes, the
Just
next
because
podcast.
you said that, it's not going to happen.
I know. That's why I didn't want to say anything.
We jinxed it.
All the stuff we always say we're going to do. And
I know.
we've actually done less this year.
I
than
know. We've
ever
been
done.
awful this off season.
I know. And we've got
So
been
much
stuck
content.
in the house for 6 months.
I know. You would think you'd be more
I
productive,
would
but
think.
mm-mm.
It's weird how that works. Isn't
I
it?
know.
All right, that's going to wrap it up for us. If you want to get in touch with us, the best way to do it is visit our website, BuccaneersObserver.com. We have all the contact information there, I think. If not, you can check us out on Twitter. Contact us through there. Our handle is @Bucs_Observer. We also have the YouTube page, which most of y'all are watching here. We've got Facebook. Look for us there. Just type in Buccaneers Observer. Hey, we're pretty much everywhere except Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok. Well, why do we need so many social media?
I don't know. I wish they would stop. I can't keep up.
Just cut it down to 3. The 3 I like.
Exactly.
All right, that's going to wrap it up for us. Till next time.
Go Bucks.